The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the unveiling of Stevens' new partnership with Keller Williams International. We're going to spend the next 45 minutes on introducing this great program. But before we do that, I'd like our agency family to focus on Stevens' initiative to improve our CSA 2010 score. We need our agency family's help in improving this score. Violations of logs and vehicle maintenance continue to reflect in our score. So I've invited John Flanagan, our Manager of Quality Safety and Fleet Services, to speak very briefly on this topic, and then we'll return to the unveiling of our great Keller Williams partnership. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Maury. I'll try not to be too big of a distraction and take just a few minutes of your time. And we're doing this on every one of the agency broadcasts to go out to all of our service providers with just some reinforcement on our safety principles. I put on the banner here the American Trucking Association Safety Management Council motto, and that about safety, which is both essential and sustainable. This really impacts our business going forward, and we really want to reinforce that safety is good business and something that we all need to strive for. Next slide, please. On this slide, you'll see that there's a impact on the national data on traffic fatalities, which are up for the first time in a long time. The point of this is that we need to reemphasize defensive driving. The increase of 13.5% in the first quarter is somewhat notable, since we've had a steady trend of decreasing in traffic fatalities, and of course that's something we all want to stress. Next slide, please. What is defensive driving? The defensive driving is driving in such a way that you don't make mistakes and control your vehicle and make allowances for the other guys. We are held to a higher standard as a professional driver. National Safety Council's professional truck driving program has a defensive driving component that we offer both online and in person. So it's something that you might want to look at. Defensive driving is really the name of the game. Next slide, please. So as Maury mentioned, I want to give everyone a brief update on our CSA scores. The main issues are continuing on the roadside. On the logs front, it is logs not current or not legal. Logbook not current is by far a #1 violation. The 14 and 11-hour rules also crop up. One thing that has noted a particular increase is our vehicle maintenance. The OOS rate, which is the out-of-service rate, is above 22% for the first time since we've been keeping records. And what's the root cause of that, of the out-of-service rate for vehicle maintenance? We call it the BLT sandwich: brakes, lights, and tires. In order to prevent these kind of safety violations and breakdowns, you need to use the available maintenance resources that are out there. You may or may not know that there are nationwide services that will come to your site to do preventive maintenance at a fairly reasonable cost. And preventive is always better. It's much less expensive and more efficient to have your vehicles maintained on your premises before they go out on the job than alongside the road somewhere. The other thing we need to emphasize is retraining our drivers to do proper pre-trip inspections. Get those items, those defects noted before you leave the facility in the morning, so it's not coming to bite you later in the day on the side of the road somewhere. Next slide, please. What are our recent results? Well, in June, we don't have the July numbers yet, we had 106 safety violations for the entire company. That is a little bit better than last year, but not as good as the year before or the year before that. Still 106 safety violations is a lot, and we need to take corrective action because this directly impacts our CSA score and our standing with the federal regulators that are overseeing our progress in this regard. Next slide, please. Why do we have these violations? This graph shows that lights, brakes, other vehicle defects are the top 3, followed by 3 logbook violations, followed by tires, emergency equipment, and other driver violations. As you can see, vehicle maintenance and logs, again, rises to the top. It's something we need to reemphasize. Next slide, please. Again, the maintenance thing, this is the maintenance violations in the top 10 overall violations for all trucking companies, and you see the ones with the red stars. Those are items that would be prevented by doing good vehicle maintenance before you leave the yard and keeping your vehicles maintained year-round. Later today, we'll be sending out the fall vehicle inspection notices. We need to get those vehicle inspections done. It's been a tough summer with a lot of hot weather, and that's taken our toll on our vehicles, and we need to get after that. So I thank you for your attention, and even if you're not directly involved with your drivers, you can take this information back to your agency and talk it over with your agency management, your drivers, and operations staff. Safety is good business. Safety doesn't cost, it pays.
Thank you, John. And as you can see, just simple daily pre-trip inspections can correct most of those items before the vehicle hits the streets. And when they get pulled over and get written up, that affects our CSA score. So everybody take that in mind and share it with your operations group. I apologize in the beginning, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Maury Stevens, Jr., Vice President of Commercial Agency Division. And it is my pleasure to unveil this new and great program for our agency family. And we have partnered with Keller Williams Realty International. So why do we do this? Well, as we've said many times, that strong agents make a strong van line. Stevens is committed to developing strong agents within our agency family. The following programs continue to create value for our agency family. The call center, website development assistance from our marketing department, and other great value-added services. You'll be hearing from several people on this call. You might hear from Roger Weiss, who is located out in Los Angeles, California today, along with John Burkhart, and also Stacy Matuzak and Jerry Rudolph from our marketing department. How are the other ways that we've helped develop our agency family? As I said before, Roger Weiss is leading our sales leadership and agency development program. John Burkhart, we've just hired for our Keller Williams focus. And then as always, you got great agency support from Judy Butler, Stacy Matuzak, and Tammy Steed, previously known as Tammy Noodle. We also have Mike Schaffel and the Stevens Vision team. Mike is leading this group in developing new national account business for the van line that generates OA, DA, and hauling opportunities for our agency family. Now let's talk about Keller Williams. Stevens is one of the very few exclusive approved vendors for Keller Williams. And in a moment, I'm going to introduce John, but Stevens hired John Burkhart, our Vice President of Business Development, in March 2012 to develop this national partnership for our agency family. John had a previous relationship with Keller Williams and has brought this opportunity to the Stevens organization. Stevens has made this investment to generate interstate, intrastate, and local business for our agents. This is a cost-shared program similar to the call center, but the biggest investment will be an agent's dedication to develop the program in their own markets. Now, if you have any questions, please type them in the question box on your screen, and we'll read them over the air at the end of the program. Now it's my pleasure to introduce John Burkhart, live from the Los Angeles area, to talk about who Keller Williams is.
Good morning. First off, I'd like to thank everyone for taking time this morning to learn a little bit about this program. I welcome the opportunity to be able to come out and visit with as many people as I can and talk to everyone that wants to talk about this program. First of all, I'd like to tell you a little bit about Keller Williams. Keller Williams is an Austin-based company. They were founded in 1983 by Gary Keller and Mark Williams. Mr. Williams is no longer part of the company. They have over 80,000 real estate agents as part of their company, with over 95,000 employees, which is a big amount of people that we can touch and possibly get business from. They right now have 690 market centers across the country, but they actually have more than that. Right now they have around 200 that are just starting, and they haven't been given market center designation yet, but they will eventually. So you have a great opportunity. There's a little over 900 offices for us to be calling on and trying to generate business. They are the second largest real estate company in the United States, only behind RE/MAX, and they expect to pass RE/MAX within the next 2 years. In the last 5 years, while most companies were experiencing difficulties, Keller Williams grew 38%, and they're still growing. Change, please. Keller Williams has something for everybody. They have 4 major divisions. The first division is the realty group, which is really the basic group that we're going after. They do have a luxury home division. The luxury home division is in every market, regardless of where you're located, whether it's downtown Detroit or in Beverly Hills. They take the top 20% of the market, train people on how to specialize in these type of sales, and they come up with this luxury home division. It's a great division to get to know, and we're going to teach you how to market that. They also have a great commercial division. 3-4 years ago, when I first started calling them Keller Williams, their commercial division was very non-existent. Today it's up, it's thriving, it's growing, and anybody that does office and industrial moves wants to get involved in it. Keller Williams last year was the first year they opened a new office overseas in Vietnam. Since then, they've now opened 2 more offices, and they're starting to expand everywhere overseas. I know that they already have places in England, and they also have a place over in Ireland. So it's something that we want to look at in getting involved with the international group. Next slide. The management structure is very precise. Once you learn it, it's easy. Their home office is in Austin. Everything is controlled and run out of their Austin facility. They have approximately 185 people up in Austin running the entire country. But they have regional offices. There's 35 of them. They're talking before the end of the year to expand from 35 to 40 regions. It's going to be very important for you to learn who your regional owners are. They're going to assist us in getting into the local offices. As you can see, the regional offices have 3 or 4 different functions. The regional owner is appointed. He is appointed by Keller Williams because of his success in his market. What they do is they look at someone that's in a market that's excelling better than anybody else, and they give him the opportunity to expand into a market, into a region that's not growing so well, so that he can bring up that region. On a local basis, it's a normal company. You have your OP, operating principal. He's the one that owns the facility. A lot of them aren't even involved. I've met OPs that are airline pilots. I've met them that own manufacturing companies. They were the ones with the money to get the operation going, to get the market center moving on. You have a team leader. Most important person in every Keller Williams office. You need to meet, get to know, and build a relationship with the team leader. They manage the office. A lot of times behind the team leader handle is the CEO. They become the CEO. They're accountable for all the training and the recruiting in every office. Market center administrator, very important. That's the person that handles all the money. Another person to get to know. And then they have an ALC, and that's the Agent Leadership Committee. Not much different than our agency committee here. You know, they really work on the problems. They help all the agents grow. They advise them. A lot of the ALC Leadership Committee people are partners that bought into the agencies, and they turned it over to an operating principal and allowed them to run it, yet they're partners. So it's an important group to know of these 4 people that we have there. Next slide, please. Why build a relationship? Being movers, we should all realize how important relationships are. First of all, most real estate companies are very community-minded. They add credibility. The minute that you state that you are a national vendor for a large realtor, it gives you credibility. Keller Williams has a national vendor program they've had for over 15 years. They have never had a moving company in it. The fact that they put us in there means that they really take this is a very important step for them, and we need to rise to their level of customer service. Anybody that recommends someone to us, we are a direct reflection on them. And that's important for us to make sure that every time that we do something for Keller Williams, you know, we're keeping their name above everything else and being accountable for what we do. Community. Since I've gotten involved with Keller Williams, I am involved in more functions in the community in Cleveland, Columbus, places that I've sold to than I've ever been. Because most real estate companies invest time and money in the communities to grow. That's how they grow. So if we latch onto their coattails and run with them, we're going to take advantage of their relationships. Growth. We all know every time you walk into a Keller Williams office, whether there's 50 people or 300 people, that's 50 or 300 individual entrepreneurs. These are people that they own their own businesses. They're out there. So if they're out there hustling, that's how many people you have out there selling your name once you build that relationship. Go ahead. Just like myself, when I started the Keller Williams program, you might already have local relationships going on. You may have partnerships with other real estate companies. Unless you made yourself or signed a contract stating that you were an exclusive, very few real estate companies want that from you. They want you to be involved. They want you to get to know everyone in the community, whether it's their competition, because they'll try to pick your brain and learn about the competition. So there's nothing wrong with representing more than one realty company in any area. In Cleveland, where we're at, the Cleveland office represents the 2 largest in the area, which is Keller Williams and Howard Hanna, and creates no issues for either one of them, and so it shouldn't for us. The second thing, which is really important, is a real estate company cannot force their realtors to use us. That's why the relationships are important. So it's really important, you know, when somebody says you have an exclusive, I assure you that if you talk to them and you tell them that you have 100 realtors in your office and you're only getting business from 20%, they're not being exclusive either. So it's really not an issue. I believe if you can get 25 to 40% of the realtors in any office referring clients to you, you've done a great job. And that number is going to climb. As you do business with them, it's going to slowly climb because each person is going to talk about you and it's going to grow and grow. 25 to 40% is a good ratio. Keys to success. I'm going to hammer this on you every time I visit with you, every time we talk on the phone. Keller Williams is a relationship-driven company. This is not an overnight fix. You're not going to walk into their office and become their best buds overnight. But I assure you, if you build a relationship, if you work with a partner, you become their partner in everything they do. And when I state that, I mean everything they do. This will continue to grow and continue to grow, and it will overcome whatever hardships may happen. Next slide, please. This is a referral program, no question about it. We pay them 4% on all line haul, interstate, intrastate, and local business. We tell you this in advance so that you have the opportunity to do whatever you want with your intrastate and local charges. I mean, if you want to increase your revenue, I don't think you can get business as inexpensive as 4%, but you're welcome to do that before you start soliciting the KW offices. The way it breaks down is 2% of what we give back to Keller Williams goes to the market centers. It goes directly to the offices that you are soliciting. It's important that you realize that, and it's important that that's the only number you ever bring up to the market centers that you sell to. Don't ever talk to them about any other prices. Don't ever talk to them about 4%. All you bring up is the 2%. Reason is 0.5% of this goes to the regional owners. Regional owners, again, as I explained to you, are the people that help build the areas that we're soliciting in. So if we get the regional owner behind us and he has an investment in this, that he knows he's going to get 0.5% of everything that we give to Keller Williams, he's going to really be pushing his offices to utilize our services. And 1.5% goes to KWRI. That's Keller Williams Realty International out of Austin. And that 1.5% helps run our program. It helps give us sales opportunities. It helps give us regional opportunities. It helps do a lot of stuff for us. So it's not that somebody's sitting back or collecting all this money getting fat. They utilize it to help us grow. As this states, do not discuss the last two with the market centers. That's up to them. We don't do it. Second thing is, do not discuss any of the 4%. Don't ever mention 4%, because when I made that mistake of doing that, and it created a stir, and we've overcome that, and now 2%, it goes to the market centers. That's all we talk about. Benefits for the customer. Money-wise, right off the bat, we're offering them $75,000 valuation with a $250 deductible at no cost. As you'll find out later, when you register your shipments, if you do not designate valuation, it'll default to $75,000 valuation at no cost. Or you can offer them a $100,000 value at zero deductible for $190. So we all know that's great savings for them. Next slide, please. One of the things that you'll find out, and I know that a lot of the companies that I've already talked to, a lot of the agents that I've gone out to help, you're going to find out that as you're building the relationship with Keller Williams, as the partnership between Stevens, the agent, and Keller Williams grows, the referred customers that you're getting, you're going to find instead of booking those at 30% or 40% ratio, you're going to be booking them at 75 or 80%. I don't lose too many referrals, and when I do, it's normally because I couldn't service it, or just I lost it by not doing my job. So as long as you get that referral, you take it serious, and you take care of that customer, you've got about an 80% chance of locking that up. Repeat referrals. I've been selling Keller Williams in Cleveland for 3 years, and I find myself doing a lot of, house sold, put it in storage, they're building a house, we're moving them again, we're moving their friends. It really makes a big difference. Best part of this for you, and Stevens realized this coming in there, so they really took the chance, when they did this, they knew they were helping you, because more than half of the business is going to be yours. It's going to be local, intrastate, and storage. So you're going to have a great opportunity. As you're knocking on that door, yes, Stevens is going to get their fair share. But you're going to get the bulk of it. And that's important to you because that's instant cash flow. That's going to be filling your warehouses. And those are important things. The next thing is the increased involvement with the community. It's really important to build that relationship with the community. And you know, if you latch onto their coattails, if you sit there and you ask them for the opportunities that they have, you will grow in your community. In the very beginning of this relationship, as you're trying to build it, you're going to spend money on sponsorship. You're going to spend money on other things. As your relationship continues, your price is going to drop, and you're going to find yourself spending very little money and being more involved with the office or the market center that you're soliciting to. This is very, very important. You know, what do you need to contribute? Time. You need to put the time in on this, effort and money. You know, do not start unless you're willing to provide all three, but really do not start this unless you're willing to put in the time. You know, most movers, and I'm no different, we love instant gratification. We love to go out on an estimate. We love to see that customer, you know, light right up and we walk away. That's not going to happen with the Keller Williams customers. I mean the Keller Williams agents. You're going to have to go out there. You're going to have to go out there at least every other week to every market center that you are trying to get business from. Doesn't take long, 10, 15 minutes of your time, but I guarantee you if you're willing to do that 2-3 times a month in every office, eventually you're going to be very, very successful in it. Most companies, the biggest complaint as you go into these offices and you sit down and talk to the OPs and the team leaders, they're going to tell you about 1 million movers that have walked through their door, made commitments, left brochures, walked away, and then they never see them again. Again, instant gratification. If you take the time, build the relationship, get the partnership going, it'll pay out, I assure you. It's like any corporate account. I don't think there's anybody out there that walks into a corporate account and locks it up on the first one unless they're your best friend. It takes you time. It takes effort. You might have to make 5, 6 calls in there and wait for that opportunity. Same thing with Keller Williams. Every time you go in there, you're selling to multiple people that want to hear what you have to say. So you have to make that effort. Again, we state, Keller Williams is a relationship-driven company. You need to build a relationship. You need to build the partnerships. Next, please. Top 10 things to know. Very important things. It makes you seem intelligent when you walk in there, and it opens many, many doors for you. When you walk in, never discuss the realty offices. Talk to them about their market centers. That's what their offices are called, market centers. Let them know that you are looking for a long-term partnership and relationship. Absolutely, we want your business. That's what we're here for. But we want to build a relationship that's going to go on for years and years. We want to make sure that you're making money. We want to make sure we're making money. That's the one cultural benefit of dealing with Keller Williams, is they truly, truly believe that if it is not good for you, they don't want to get into it because you're not going to be around long. They want long-term relationships. Big thing to stress upon them, we're only the second mover that has become a national vendor for KWRI. And we are the only one with a national package. I know. I'm the one that set up both of the national vendor programs for movers. And I can tell you where I came from, they do not have a national vendor program. They're not even getting it set up. So we have the advantage of being the only one going national. Let the OPs and team leaders know that you want to be involved. I have to tell you, you walk into an office and you ask them for opportunities, you know, if you don't ask for opportunities, you're not going to get any. You need to ask. And when they sit there and say, well, you know, we're really booked up, keep pressing it. I assure you they have a need. And if they know that you're really interested in taking care of it, after you've taken care of the one that you finally got into, there's going to be 1 million more opening up for you. But once, if you go in there and tell them you want to participate in as many as you can, it's going to give you the capability of sitting back and picking and choosing which one's going to benefit you the most. Make sure that when you go there, that everybody you talk to, everybody, you know, you walk into a room, we all have done this before, we pick 2 or 3 people we think we'll feel comfortable with. You got to make sure you talk to everybody in there, because the person that's not talking to you might be a person that has 5 or 6 listings that are ready to pop. Make sure you put your card and your brochure in their hand, everybody that you see. Do not talk to the agents about the referral program without first asking the OP and team leader. This is not something that is directed to the agents, our referral program. It's directed to the market centers. Most OPs, most team leaders do go to the agents and tell them that it is a referral program and that the market center will benefit from it. But let them tell them. We don't have to do that. As we stated before, they will receive 2% of the line on all moves. Do not talk about the 2% or where it goes, the other 2%. The referral fee is paid into their profit share. These are things that me and you have to talk about so I can teach you how to state this. This is not something that where they get a direct check from us. All the referrals that we get go directly to the home office, and they put it back through their profit share process. Talk about the discounted valuation rates. We've already, you know, talked about that, $75,000 with $250 deductible, or the $100,000 for $190. Talk about that. Also talk about the either or. Okay. There's no reason to ever say anything that you shouldn't say, but basically let them know that this is something that we offer to their customers. The other thing that I really bring up is the fact that we're accountable. I use accountability every sales call I make with them. I let them know that I'm not only accountable to their customer, but I'm accountable to them to make sure that every move that we do goes well. Let them know that you are the one that's going to take care of them. That you as the agent, yes, it's Stephen's program, but you, the local agent, are building the relationship. It's important to let them know that. Let them know that all of your KW customers are going to be treated like a national account. It's an important thing to do, and then treat them like a national account. Whether they want packing or don't want it, treat them that way, because the word will get out. Last but not least, I'll tell you, and anybody that's been involved with me that has gone to Keller Williams offices will tell you, never walk in empty-handed. I don't care if it's pastry in the morning, cookies or cupcakes in the afternoon, chocolates, ice cream. Bring in something every time you walk in there. It's going to open doors, and you're going to have the capability of being able to walk through the entire office and pass out the stuff. That's the difference of hitting the front desk and just stopping. They're going to let you go out and take care of it from there. So at this time, I'm going to turn this over to Stacy. Stacy will talk to you about tracking the shipments and the registration process. Stacy, take it away.
Thank you, John. Again, this is Stacy from the Commercial Agency Division, and I'm going to walk you through a few quick steps on how to get an estimate for these Keller Williams moves, and also a couple tips on how to register them. Now, you cannot access this Keller Williams tariff using your PC-based tariff. You will have to use the new online order estimate and registration program. So if you guys are not on board with that yet, which we will, it will be mandatory come January 1, so you're going to want to start using this now, and obviously with the Keller Williams tariff you have to. If you have any questions on how to use this, definitely reach out to me at any time. So in order to get into the tariff, you have to click down where the arrow it says Order Estimate and Registration. And again, if you're not familiar with using this system, this is going to look a little different to you. But on the right-hand side for the tariff, you're going to have to choose the SVLKW, and that will flag the system for those special valuation options. If you are using a TechMate or IGC, you must update your device to include this tariff, so you're going to have to reach out to those service providers to get those updates. When you're registering the shipment, again, where the blue arrows are, you will have to enter the Keller Williams Move Center number, and depending on what state you're in, those will give you the proper drop-down box. And then you will also have to type in the Keller Williams Realtor, the name of the person that you're working with. Oh, Market Center, excuse me, the Keller Williams Market Center number, I'm sorry. And just to remember that the Keller Williams tariff can only be used for Keller Williams clients. You cannot use this for, your best friend moving, out of state or anything like that. It's got to be through the Keller Williams program. For the valuation section, if you leave the valuation section blank, as John stated earlier, it will automatically default to the $75,000 with the $250 deductible. If the shipper would like the $100,000 option with the zero deductible, then they're going to enter the $100,000 there in the box, in the Vail lump sum box, and then leave the deductible blank. For your local and intrastate moves, the agent must submit the 4% of the labor costs to Stevens, and then we will then issue a check to Keller Williams. If you are going to participate in the program, we will send you out an Excel file where you have to report and track that information. And you can see a sample of the Excel spreadsheet there at the bottom of the screen. You will have to send us that 4%, the check and this worksheet by the 10th of each month so that we can get that out to Keller Williams. And now I'm going to turn it back over to John Burkhart so that he can explain the requirements to participate.
All right. The requirements are quite simple. For me to come on site and support you, to come out to your office for a couple of days, make some sales calls with you, sit down with your salespeople or anyone in your office. I believe everyone in your office that's going to touch customers, KW customers, should hear the program and know what it's all about. You have to have at least 36 months left on the agency agreement. You had to have had 50,000 minimum commercial line haul bookings the previous 12 months. And you need to have a full-time sales rep who will work with the KW program. We don't mean that you have to have a full-time sales rep who's just doing KW, but it requires someone that has the time to participate and go out every week, every other week to call on these offices. All KW interstate shipment registered under the tariff with proper market center and realtor name. You know, it's important that we need to be able to track this. You need to be able to track this. So you need to be able to handle this under the SBL KW tariff. Your agency booking commission will be reduced by 1%. Stevens Van Lines is paying the other 3%. And when you look at it, most van lines, even by offering just a valuation discount, take at least 1 or 2% away from you. So that 1% is not a penalty. It's actually a very good rate for this program. You need to send the monthly statements to Stevens with the 4% referral fee, with the market center and realtor name. The market center is mandatory. The realtor name, you might struggle a little bit, but for your benefit, more your benefit than ours, it's important for you to get the realtor's name. You need to know who's giving you business and who's not giving you business. You need a willingness to network with KW offices in your market. As I keep telling you, if you think you're going to stop in there once every 60 days or 90 days or even once a month, that's not enough. You need to be very visible to them, especially in the beginning. There is going to be an agent participation agreement. You will have to sign that, and we will be out there. Now, just to tell you, just because you don't hit every one of these requirements, I will work with your agency. I may not come out there, but I will take all the time that's necessary to get you set up and help you make these calls. And hopefully in the very near future, we'll get you up to these, and I'll be out there to help you. The success of this program is really up to you. And I have to tell you, Stevens Van Lines, Maury Stevens Jr. has really made a commitment to this. And this is just the beginning, because once we get this up and rolling, we have many opportunities to go after. There is a playbook that I wrote. I can tell you it'll really walk you through a lot of this. It'll give you more in depth. And I'm available at any time to talk about it. So we'll be talking about how to roll out the playbook. And as soon as we get it rolled out, we'll get it to everybody. Next. Jerry Rudolph, would you like to go ahead and tell them all about the sales material?
I certainly would. Thank you, John. We have developed several pieces of material, and these, of course, may change. They may get easier to use. We're also hoping to make all of these electronic as time goes on. But this first piece that I wanted to show you is a piece that is specifically designed for when you, the Stevens agent, makes your first introduction to a Keller Williams office in your local area. These are customized to your specific agent and includes the material, the contact information that you want on there. These are materials that all you need to do is, if John is coming to visit you or you're ready to start making those introduction calls and visits to those local agents, that you let me know. And what we do with these is make a file for you that then we send directly to you electronically, so that then you can go to your local Staples or your other local printing company and have as many of these printed as you will need in your local area. That's going to save you on the cost of having us print a minimum number of them for you here, which is normally going to be in the hundreds range, and then also it saves you the cost of shipping. So this is a piece. John has been very good about when he's going to visit agents in advance. He lets me know who he's going to visit, and we have these prepared and sent to you in advance. One of the next pieces of materials that we have is an actual postcard for the Keller Williams customers, that if they are going to share with you any of their leads, that if they're going to share with you folks for whom they're selling homes. This works very similar to our postcard program. Either we can send them out for you, or we can have them sent for you through our mail program, or we can have the backs of the postcards printed here for you and ship them to you, and then you can have them labeled and addressed and sent to those folks who you want to target. Co-op funds can be used toward use of your Keller Williams collateral materials. So it would be wise to use them in some of these bigger pieces like the postcard program. Another piece that is developed is a flyer, which is also customized, which can be used for different uses for the Keller Williams moving customer themselves. These can be supplied to your Keller Williams agents and realtors to have them put right in the packets that they give to their moving customers, if they have materials that they give to them, or they can be put in Keller Williams offices, etc. Again, you can use co-op funds for those. The other piece is the trade show banners. This is an example of 2 trade show banners that we currently have, and those are for those bigger, when John talked about having bigger opportunities, when there's things that you're going to that are in their regions, whether you're selling to the Keller Williams agent or if you are going to a big event, and perhaps you and Keller Williams are going together and sponsoring a community event together, that kind of a thing. We have these currently that are just with the Stevens logo and the Keller Williams logo. There will be opportunities for individual agents who feel like they're going to really run with this program. If you would like to have banners done that specifically have your logo, the Stevens logo, and the Keller Williams logo all on the banners, to have those printed as well. There are some restrictions, though, that you use the Stevens art and template, and that the Keller Williams logos are used in very specific manners. So if this is something that you're interested in, please feel free to contact me in the marketing department, and we will work on getting those done for you. We'll work together to do that in the most cost-effective way that it makes sense for you and your agency. So there's, like I say, several pieces, and I'm sure that's going to evolve, and I will hand it back to John.
All right. Thank you, Jerry. Just to let you know, if you want to begin in any form at all, whether you just want to know a little bit more about the program, whether you would like me to come out and visit with your office, I have already visited some offices, and I'm hoping that they want to invite me back to there to help them continue the growth. Contact me. I promise that we will work together to initiate and then build a relationship to make this successful. And I have to tell you, I'm out here in LA with Roger, and Roger is going to be able to assist and do the same thing. He's been very good in the offices, and I think that he's learning enough of the program to where he can start helping me spread the word as rapidly as we can. There's going to be some great opportunities for you, and I really want to invite all of you to call me as soon as you can. So next slide, please. If anyone has any questions, please let us know. Stacy or Maury, do you want to talk about the aging convention? Roger?
Sure. This is Maury Stevens again. Just a couple things here before we answer questions. And like I said, in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, you should be able to type in an area where it says questions, and they're popping up on our screen as we speak. But a couple events that are coming up. First, our agency convention, which is going to be located in Phoenix, Arizona, is Saturday, October 20th through October 23rd. We've posted the link to the registration link to register for that, and also that is on SVL Online also. So it's a great event. We've been doing it every other year. If you haven't registered, please check out the link, and there's more information on there.
We do have one question out here from Peter at OVO, and I think this goes back to the community events. I think Peter just says, please give examples of opportunities they are involved in. So John, you know, that goes back to you. I think that's what Peter's asking. If that's not right, Peter, please let me know.
You know, the opportunities, there's many of them. There's opportunities where it's just their offices. You'll have sales opportunities to go in and talk to their people. You will have picnic opportunities, award banquets to go to. Community events, they have an event every year called Red Day. This year, Stevens Van Line supplied a truck, got TV coverage, got radio coverage. We sat at an intersection and collected donations for the USO that a Keller Williams office was doing. We had another opportunity where they were fixing up a park in a very bad area part of town. We went in, we supplied lunches, and they had a big sign up there for months. In fact, the sign is still up there saying that Keller Williams and Stevens Worldwide Van Lines came in and fixed up the park. There are many, many opportunities for you. The biggest ones are obviously in the office. There's meet and greets. where you get an opportunity to come in at lunchtime, supply lunch to the agents, and sit down and meet every one of them on a personal level. Normally you get 30, 40 agents in on that. People that come to it are people that are interested in taking care of their customers. So there's a lot of opportunities. Again, I'll send you some information that will detail all this. And depending on your area, we had an opportunity in Cleveland a couple of weeks ago to where there was a homecoming for a very large and very exclusive area where they had a homecoming for over a weekend. Keller Williams had a lemonade stand. Didn't cost us anything except us being there to help them crush and grind out lemons, but yet they put our name on the sign and they let everybody know that Stevens Worldwide Van Lines was part of that. So you're going to have a lot of opportunities.
Okay, Tom Pera from Midwest says that they have been involved in social events, informative events, vendor meetings, sales meetings, and business development meetings. And he said they are also invited to their company picnic this month. So it's already seems to be working there, and hopefully it'll lead to good things.
And that's how you take advantage of the program also. And a nice job, Tom, at Midwest and Chicago. And there's a few of these people that have started the program also because they've attended our regional spring sales meetings, and that's where John was introduced. So you might wonder why I haven't started it. It's because a couple of these guys attended those meetings and raised their hands quite quickly. And even before we were able to kick off the program officially today, they've already been taking the reins of the horse and running with it. So nice job, Tom. Stacey, what else do we have?
Don Hatt asked if this will be on Stevens TV later. Yes, it will. We are recording it, so probably maybe by tomorrow afternoon it will be out there.
And that's a good point. One thing you'll be able to do is share that with your staff or the owner if you're just a salesperson, and you can talk about it at your weekly sales meetings that you guys have with your staff. So it'll be up there hopefully by tomorrow afternoon, if not for sure Monday.
Excellent. And Kirk from Apex is looking for that Excel spreadsheet because they've already booked their first move.
So that Excel spreadsheet will probably be coming from Bonnie Deneen in accounting, and Bonnie will get that out to you. And also as agents sign up for the program, they will get additional information including that sheet. Because one thing Keller Williams is looking for is, they see this value, but it's also an incentive program. So they're going to look at Stevens and what are we bringing to the table with Keller Williams? And the one thing we can show is by tracking, one, the interstate shipments, but two, by paying the referral fee, shows them that we are working the program and we should be considered and continue to be, hopefully, one of the only exclusive vendors.
Tom Pera also said that they've booked 2 moves for the Market Center leadership and 3 referrals. Good job, Tom. Does anybody else have any other questions? If you have any questions that come up after, please feel free to reach out to John Burkhart, Maury, or myself, and we'll get those questions answered for you. And looking forward to next month in September, if you're already not using the online order estimate and registration, we will have a very extensive step-by-step walkthrough on how to use this, as it will be mandatory come January 1. And Tammy Hetrick will be in with that one as well to answer questions if need be.
So thank you, everybody. And at this time, I'd like to thank John for taking his time out and joining us and rolling out the program today. It's an exciting day at Stevens this year with a new program for our agency family. I also like to thank Stacey Matuzak, one of our presenters today, Jerry Rudolph from our marketing department, and of course John Flanagan. Also behind the scenes, Tammy Hetrick helped us develop a tariff. So if there's any problems with the tariff, Tammy will be working with us with that. And also, of course, Bonnie Deneen in revenue accounting. She will be probably your go-to person, at least initially on the program, with the monthly 4% fees and tracking and reporting to Keller Williams. So, and also Kurt Sherman from our IT department. He's giving me a wink over here. So, thanks, Kurt. With that, good luck. Thank you for taking the time. I know it's a busy time. It's been a busy summer, and we at Stevens thank our agents for all the support. And it's been a fruitful summer, but with its challenges. So, thank you, everybody, for their hard work.